Hey, 2024, another massive year for games. There have been some huge releases. Who cares? Number 10. Deadlock is the most fun I've had since
Overwatch.
I want to bring up right now, I had a lot of fun with Marvel Rivals, and I was tempted to put it in this spot, but the pre-established characters really don't appeal to me the same way a brand new cast is to meet and explore. The MOBA style of Deadlock also appeals to me more than the payload or control point missions do in a typical hero shooter game nowadays. And there's no way I'm ever going back to
League of Legends.
After experiencing the fast-paced, exciting gameplay of a third-person shooter mixed with the mundane tower diving and dropping for items, and even that, they somehow make feel just as exciting as everything else in this game. How fast can I buy something, hop on the zipline, and destroy a tower before the enemy can even get there? It's juggling a lot of things at once, and you're always on your toes rather than, oh, Reaper's on the point, guys, we gotta fall back. You just watch your team fight the same wrecking ball for the next 4 minutes while you just sit there on point. No. In this game, you gotta pay attention at all times to the entire map and know damn well what each of these characters is gonna be able to pull out at any time. And the characters, mwah, beautiful, excellent, well designed so far, with writing that can actually evoke emotion. I have laughed at dialogue. I have felt genuinely sad for a character's backstory. I have gone out of my way to listen to every voice line a certain character will have just to experience the full depth of what they have done, want to do, and will do to achieve their goals. I have heard expelling goo 1,000 times and I will never hate hearing it. But Shiv, I love you. I love sniping people with knives from cover. I love his design. I love his voice. I love his hair. Everything about him earns him the Best Character of the Year award. Thanks a lot, Valve.
Didn't even mess up my hair.
It's fishing, it's on the web, what more do I need to say? This game was always compared to Animal Crossing to me, which I don't really like. I mean, the animals do look like they're from Animal Crossing, but the fishing mechanics are actually really great. Not as in-depth as some other games like Stardew Valley, it really comes down to having enough power to click through 500-point barriers fast enough to pull a fish in, and that just takes upgrades from your time, blood, sweat, and having to literally start from scratch because you bought 500 scratch off tickets thinking, oh yeah, the $10,000, I'll be the one to win that. No, you won't. Just catch another whale, dude. The variety of fish are cool, and I do love hanging out with friends or just random people who happen to be playing on an open server. Huge shout out to Millie, Eva, and especially Bedside Table Mud Plant, but I see what the rest of you guys talk about on there. I know what you are. I know why there is an 18+ tag on the servers, you sickos. Please stop yiffing. I am trying to gamble. Web Fishing wins Furry's Game of the Year award. Not shaming anybody. Alright, you got me. I'm a sucker for turn-based RPGs, I'll admit it. Following the success of the Persona series, it looks like the boys down at Persona HQ finally said, what are we doing? And made a fantasy RPG with the Persona day-to-day life simulator mechanics, or whatever you want to call it. And hey, they pulled it off. The characters are all mostly super interesting and fun. The plot does have enough twists and turns that you won't guess everything, but I did have some moments where it was like, okay, we all know what's coming. I just met that guy and they're on the cover of the game. Like, let's go. I don't know where else to bring this up, but I need to rant about this somewhere. I played through the game with the Japanese dub as God intended, and I knew I would play through the game in English on a second playthrough. Both versions have really great voice acting. Fantastic voices that mostly fit each character, and I could tell they worked really hard on it. Huge shout out to Louis for being almost as cool as Shiv from Deadlock. You see what I said there? Louis. You can hear them say Louis in the Japanese version. Why did they say Louise in the English version? What is the point of changing that? Like, it's not even Louis. Louise. I don't know you, dear viewer. I don't care which version of the game you experience. Please don't be fooled by the game calling him Louise. His name is Louis. You know what? I figured it out. The dub is church propaganda. Please don't. You know what I love even more than RPGs? RPGs with job systems. JRPG actually stands for job role-playing game. Did you know that? Idiot. However, the job system in Metaphor wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. It is, of course, a total grind fest. You're going to be trying to level up the wizard line because you have to max out archetypes to be able to max evolutions of the wizard because the knight line that you maxed out and evolved needs you to max out the wizard line, so you're dead set on getting this magic knight archetype that by the time you get it, you could have been doing even more with just a summoner and a dancer. You've now sunk hours into this, and you're left wondering, what is it all for? Well, the story, of course. Watch Louis rise to power. Metaphor ReFantazio wins the 9/11 award.
My name is Louis.
This one kind of came out of nowhere for me. Sometimes you're just sitting there scrolling through your YouTube subscriptions when you see a video about a game you've never heard of. The art looks great. The concept of a Plinko deck builder called Ballionaire really interests you. Funny thing about a game like this, you notice every mistake the person is making, and you start to think, I wouldn't have done that. Why are you not putting your topazes near the bomb goblins to maximize the amount of fireballs you can create? Why are you skipping carryables when you have ball marts at the bottom of your screen? What is this? Why is there a retirement fund above 3 cacti. I should get this game and make the right choices. And you do. And this game is a masterpiece. Almost every piece in this game across the board has some great synergy with another piece or boon you can get. And you really aren't left wondering what the point of any one trigger is. You know what? Ballionaire gets the best options available award for making me have to think about what I want to put down. The things you can make happen in this game are truly endless. I have filled the entire screen with fireballs and lagged the game. I have made a completely lazy build where I've just put hammocks and plants all over the board and won by doing absolutely nothing. I have chopped my balls in half just to glue them back together. I have seen the
Magna Carta. I've seen the Eye of Horror. I was flipping bricks for Mansa Musa before y'all even became a Type 1 civilization. This shit ain't nothing to me, you stupid piece of shit. Step the wrong way and you will perish.
Oh, hey, it's the game that won Game of the Year. That's the one I was rooting for. Oh, what's that? Oh, you think Astrobot is a ripoff of Mario Galaxy? Honey, Ratchet and Clank were doing the spherical planet thing years before Mario Galaxy. Miyamoto said, what the hell is Ratchet and Clank? Is that on PC? Oh, what's that now? Oh, this is just a big advertisement for PlayStation, so it's hardly a game? Oh, that's true. So is Super Smash Bros. You can't even play like half the games advertised in Astrobot. Hell, anyone playing this owns a PS5. It's not like they can be advertised to about the console itself. It's a celebration of PlayStation as a console, not Sony as a brand. I'm not even like a Sony fanboy, dude. I think all the game companies have had their shining moments. I think all of them are in an awful dark place right now. Astrobot really gave me that feeling of childlike wonder. Every level has something new to explore, a new use of a power that was shown earlier, a fun little area to explore and be rewarded for exploring, and getting to see all the crazy little robots that they managed to pack into this game, man. They got Sly Cooper in this. They got Razio. There's no way in hell they managed to get Vib Ribbon in this. That one blew my mind. I can't wait for my baby to grow up and get to play this and ask like, who is this? Who is that? It's going to be so fun to show them all the games in the world someday. Astrobot wins Baby's First Game Award, and I really can't wait to see what Team Asobi does next. With Astrobot or otherwise. A gooba. Oh hey, it's that game that should have won Game of the Year. Yeah, I didn't root for it, but come on. Balatro wasn't going to win Game of the Year, no matter how much we wanted it to. This is the deck builder to end all deck builders, the roguelike to end all roguelikes. This is a game not afraid to look you dead in the eyes and mouth swears at you as you fish for just one more spade to complete a flush, and then leave you with $4 and the Joker you need costs $5 in the shop. Yet somehow you stumble your way through the next blind, and you find something else you can use. Sometimes something better. It can be a brutal game, but if you can just barely slip by some of the rounds, you might even find something you can make work. It's like a survival horror game, but the dark atmosphere is how bad your luck is, and the monster lurking in the shadows is that one boss blind that can end your run instantly. Oh hey, you're using face guards exclusively? Here's the plant. You boosted Full House up to like level 15. Oh cool, have the eye. You start to think the game is working against you, but it's also on your side. It's the jester's privilege, man. All in all, this game is just a fun little game that got the praise it deserved. And it's real fun to just sit on the couch and play on my phone while everyone is watching TV or something. That's why Balatro gets the game I can just sit on the couch and play on my phone while everyone else is watching TV or something award. Haha, nope. The crab game. I mean, the crab game. I loved going under. The writing and goofiness of the entire thing was a real treat, and I was really excited to see what Acro Crab would do next. Then, Liza P was my game of the year for 2023. I absolutely love Souls-like games, and Another Crab's Treasure was just a Souls-like with like actual real 3D platforming. None of this roll off a cliff or do the jankiest jump across a cliff to reach another shield I'm not gonna equip. Oh no, this was true platforming. The jump and hover being a little floatier because you're underwater works so well, and getting the grappling hook relatively early was a joy to experience. I really liked exploring and seeing what cool items or shells I could find. The shells, baby. You will not catch me rocking anything but the skull on my back and the skull on my fork. I am the deadliest catch. The bosses were all mostly amazing. I had some trouble with a couple, but I'm telling you this, there are a lot of Souls like with bosses that keep me from replaying the game. This one I cannot think of a single boss I wouldn't mind fighting again. It's all fair, it's all patterns, and the shell abilities can absolutely save you if you know how to use them right. The story actually got me engaged, and seeing what happens to Krill throughout the game was exciting, and honestly made me feel for the little guy. I loved every area in this game. I even loved the huge poison swamp level. It was like one of my favorite areas until the end game. There was one part of the game I can actually not stand though. This guy right here, the sniper with the skull. I think I cursed this guy's entire lineage at one point. I promised to rip all his legs off and eat them one by one in front of him. I didn't like it. Another Crab's Treasure with all of its fun story, areas, combat, and movement wins the Souls-like of the Year award. I really hope they do more of this someday. I just recorded all of that and then I looked it up. There's a free update coming out. What the shell are you talking about? Oh man, I've had to wrestle with the top 3 games for a few weeks while writing this. Any one of these games could have been Game of the Year. Animal Well. It reawakened my secret hunting brain, made me feel like a genius searching against walls and solving puzzles that in hindsight were pretty obvious, but it's still really cool to figure out on my own. I managed to find all but like 5 of the eggs on my own, and I felt super proud of myself because I look everything up when playing a game like this. But I just focus on the journey of finding everything rather than the end goal, and it was a blast. The map is so well crafted, and there's places that actually scared me a couple times, just from an animal appearing and not knowing how to deal with it at the time. It's a scary game. I gotta say though, getting 100% of the achievements, totally worth it. I feel so accomplished. Getting all the bunnies, I just let the internet do that. I'm not doing that. Thanks anyways. I mean, I cannot do this room. I'm sorry, I've tried. It's not happening. Pack it all up. I've had a great time reading all the things people found in this game though, like the cheater's ring or the extreme secret everyone knows about by now. This was a game I was looking forward to for a long time thanks to Video Game Donkey, and man, the wait was worth it. Great job. Animal Well gets the most patient I've ever been in a game award, because I cannot believe I played for like 10 hours before just giving up and looking up how to do something. That's incredible. Back in 2019, I played this little gym called Sayonara Wild Hearts, and it changed me. The music, the visuals, every single thing about this game left me absolutely in love. I was blasting the soundtrack, singing along to the songs when I was playing the YOLO arcade mode. It was Game of the Year 2019, and it still belongs in like top 10 games of all time for me. So what's next for these guys after that? A survival horror-esque game that's about getting clues and using this to solve logic puzzles? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, sure, I'm on board. I remember the first time they showed this game and I was just yelling. I was so excited for a new game of the people who made Sayonara Wild Hearts. Oh, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. I was hyped. And then it came out, and then I got to a point where I had no idea what to do. I was completely lost. And the game had just come out, so I couldn't like look it up right away, and they made it so everyone had a slightly different solution to puzzles. I was just simply lost. So I started playing with my wife. And let me tell you, she's very smart. We were solving things left and right, bouncing off each other, writing things down, going through this mansion, trying to remember as much as we could, all the way to the next room. This game really presents itself as a survival horror game, but there are some really funny moments. The dialogue, dude, there are some lines specifically from Renzo Nero that I will quote until the day I die. Moving through the mansion and solving little math problems to open doors just for easier access is a joy. The atmosphere always has you on edge with the fixed camera angles, even when you realize there's nothing out to get you. Oh my god. The absolute best part of this game has to be the parts where you play like a PlayStation era game in the game, complete with tank controls, and actually having to perform glitches in the game to find information you need for another puzzle, to open another puzzle. And it's just layers and layers of mystery, not only in the gameplay, but in the storytelling. Finding out what's real, what's fake, who you are, who's dying, who's dead, who do you think's responsible? It's all there. This is the premier surreal mystery game, and no words will do it justice. You just have to seek it out and solve it yourself. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes gets the Brain Game Award of all time. I don't know. I can't see shit. And the #1 game of the year. Arctic Eggs. This game genuinely came out of nowhere. I was checking new Steam releases and saw this weird 3D pixely cooking game and thought, wow, I need to play that. I need to stream that. It turned into one of my favorite games of all time. Hilariously written, and a bold, thought-provoking ending. And that's not even getting to the gameplay. Everyone will tell you, oh, this is just that one Mario Party minigame. And sure, that's the exact reason I played this. It looks goofy. You're asked to cook an egg with like 500 cigarettes or with a roach on it, or hell, just cook this whole stingray, I don't know. You're gonna be flipping 5 eggs at once, no problem by the end of this, on a completely flat pan, because you are a hardened, professional poultry prepper. But then you start to pick up what the game's trying to tell you. This is humanity. These are people trying to make sense of the world around them after everything has fallen apart. This is a community ignoring the cold and bitter wind of change and just taking every day one step at a time to reminisce, to dance, to confide in you on how they sit on a toilet. All they ask is that you cook for them, no matter how silly it may be. These are people with real lives, just trying to make it through another day in a harsh, broken world. There's nothing left to do but survive. This guy's girlfriend goes to a different school. She's Polish, and she just doesn't take him seriously. The dialogue remains absolutely beautiful. Every person in this game feels so alive. Like you really did just wander up to a stranger who really needs someone to talk to. Really needs someone to just take a piece of them with them through their lives so they aren't totally forgotten. Or someone who wants you to just do your job and get on with their day. Some people in this game actually straight up hate you. And all this silly gameplay and dialogue is accompanied by one of the most fun soundtracks of this year. From the variety of music around the high-rise fire escapes to the desperate wail of the prison, with this incredible bass all the way to the pulsing, beating heart of the club's absolutely jamming track that you feel wash over you as you finally enter through the door. And you will feel these tunes in your veins until the party's over. The world is alive around you. There is a constant sound of chatter, dishes clanking, the wind howling. Accompanying these strange yet familiar visuals is a living, breathing being kept alive by machines. And then I got to the ending. Words can't possibly describe the feeling you get of finally getting to the end of this experience, and all of that anxiety, fear, and sometimes frustration of the game melts away as you come into contact with the Saint of Six Stomachs. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. Visually and audibly, a masterpiece. Some challenging and incredibly fun gameplay to master, and writing that made me laugh and feel true existential dread. Arctic Eggs is my game of the year. I am so looking forward to everything Water Museum does next. Thank you so much for this experience. And that's it. Those are my top games of 2024. What did you think? Yep, every single one of these games deserves the spot that shit. Fuck. After I wrote all this, I played UFO 50 for the first time. In the first week of January, I played 60 hours of UFO 50. It's game of the year. This entire video is wrong. I can't sit here and live a lie anymore. It's over. Subscribe to my fucking channel.